Satya, mind, body, spirit, health, and healing. This TMS talk is another from Lacey Phillips and Dr. Gabor Mate on the To Me Magnetic podcast. In this talk, Gabor touches on an interesting predicament many of us face or have faced when seeking medical advice in our current system. The predicament is this: we are more often viewed as our symptoms and other pieces of information that can be easily filled out on a medical questionnaire than as whole human beings, with life struggles, emotions, relationship dynamics, and histories of trauma. Furthermore, the vast majority of doctors are completely unaware that these factors play a key role in the health of the individuals they are treating. Okay, I'll let Dr. Gabor Mate explain the rest. I'll leave a link in the description.
Talk about and has Crohn's colitis, ADHD, and suffers in and out of addiction, for her taking the first step to unraveling that and that process, when do you really see? Is it just the rock bottom, or where do you see the success start to happen?
Rock bottom is not enough, because people not only have to suffer, they also have to see a possibility of transformation.
Got it.
Now, for example, take your mother's Crohn's disease. There's a lot of research, and certainly I've seen this all the time as a doctor. Crohn's is specifically related to childhood trauma and stress, long-term stress. How do we treat Crohn's disease? It's an inflammation of the intestine. We treat it with stress hormones, steroids. But none of the doctors that your mother saw would ever have asked her, what trauma did you have as a child? What stresses are you carrying in the present, and how can we help you let go of those stressful patterns imposed by your childhood trauma that are making your organism sick? Because the physicians, despite all the science that is highlighted voluminously, the relationship between mind and body and the relationship between trauma, stress, and physiological illness, most physicians are not trained to understand this. They don't even see it when it's staring them in the face. So what your mother would have needed is somebody to say to her, listen, you're suffering, but you don't need to. You just have to look at the bigger picture. So somebody has to come along and say that. And unfortunately, people go to physicians with their ADHD or with their Crohn's or their colitis or their asthma or their chronic skin conditions or their multiple sclerosis or their depression. And all they're seen as are biological organisms with diseased organs. The whole human being, in the context of her life, is never even seen or addressed. And so it's in the absence of that that your poor mom has not had the support to move past those patterns.
100%. And that really takes us into the mind-body connection of your prior work and this new book.
This content has been created with the sole intent of educating about, increasing awareness around, and deepening the understanding of the mind-body syndrome, and more broadly speaking, the mind-body-spirit connection. To hear this clip in its full context, please visit the original media source. And to learn more about the mind-body-spirit connection, you can visit howtosayfupolitely.com. Until next time, love your struggle and remain free.